So this is the first raised bed that we had made here in our back garden. And I never had done that much with it, and this spring we had inches and inches of rain. We had cool weather, a lot of dreary weather. The tomatoes got blight really bad. And so out of all my tomato plants, this is the only one that I have left standing. And it's healthy. It had blight, but as the tomatoes come on, I would take off all the bottom leaves up to where the tomatoes were coming on. And it has kept this tomato plant healthy. And let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, at least 13 tomatoes, and still putting on blooms. So this is the only one that I've kept. The only way to keep blight off the tomato plants is to keep the leaves dry. Well, if it's raining several times a day, 7 days in a row, you're going to get blight. Most areas have blight. It comes in spores. It gets on your leaves, sets up blight. This tomato plant is a Homestead 24. So I have to say that's been a very hardy plant to have lived through our spring. So this is mid-August now. You can see, you know, the plant is not real big. This may be a determinant. I'll have to look it up, and I'll put it in the description box below if it is a determinant, because I had ordered a lot of determinant seeds, and these are all heirloom seeds. And like I said, it's a Homestead 24 tomato variety. But I can't wait to eat the first tomato off of it. I have not had a ripe one. I did get a couple of good tomatoes off of some other plants that I had, and have eaten those, but it's just been hard for tomatoes here this year. So in this bed with tomatoes, this is also where I've started my fall garden. I have some alyssum planted, and then I've added the hoops with the bird netting over it. It's not just to keep off birds, because my bird feeder is close by, but it's also to keep off moths, any other thing that wants to get in there and lay eggs on my plants. So I have spinach started, and I started these from seeds in flats and then planted them out here. And I've got a drip line going for watering, and I've been watering this bed about twice a week. And we've just had rain this morning, so it's had plenty of water, and we had rain yesterday. But the leaf lettuce is really doing good. Let's see, the lettuce you see here is Grand Rapids, and then I have a couple of cilantro plants. I've also got pak choy. I have black magic kale, and then I have 2 types of carrots. You can see those, they're coming up good. One row has not done as good as the other one, and it's a different variety. But they're all putting on their second set of leaves. I'm excited about my fall garden. I have a lot more things I want to set out, and I'm fixing to start that today. You'll also see a shade cloth here. After I set out the lettuce plants, now the kale and the pak choy and the carrots, I set all of those, I seeded them directly into the garden. Now all of these I started from seed in flats, and I planted them out when they were about 3 weeks old. And so I brought out a shade cloth also after I set these out. You know, we had some really, really intense sun. This is mid-August, and they just needed some shade to get them through the day until they got established. And the flowering plant that you see there is buckwheat. Buckwheat is good about attracting beneficial insects. And you'll see all kinds of little insects flying around. That's what I have that planted for. So you want to start it early and let it start flowering so that you have it in here to bring in those beneficial insects and keep out the predators. So it's doing really good too. I've kind of pulled it back from the netting. Carrots don't do good starting them in seed flats. They do better just by planting them straight out into the ground, so that's why I did that. But kale and spinach and all that, they're just better started in the seed flats, and I wish I had done all of them. As you can see, these are just now starting to catch up with the lettuce. What I started in flats has just done really well. And then I have my other 2 new beds, and I've got another video that I'll link to showing how I made these 2 beds. I'm using the no-dig method, so I did not dig under these beds. I put down a thick layer of cardboard and then thick layers of newspaper. I've got about 140 newspapers in those 2 beds, you know, just flat cardboard, and the newspaper is for weed control. And then I have about 23 cubic feet of compost in each bed. So they're doing great. I've got plenty of plants started that I'm going to be putting in those beds, and have a whole fall garden that I'm going to be showcasing. So thank you for watching today, and I hope you enjoy this update, and we'll see you in the next video.